What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 40 of On the Back Pass. We did it. We made it another decade. One thing my mama...
40, homie.
You the real MVP.
40 of water. Protein shake you got. Me. My name is Cedric. Join with me always Will, Chris, and Zach. Got the full crew. Chris, how was your trip to Malaysia fighting tigers?
Me? Well, you know, it went well. Good. Saw a lot of scenery, and you know, I got a mullet now because of it. So it's sweet. That went well.
Awesome.
So
people were concerned.
Yeah.
Did not know how that would go for you.
Yeah. Listen, that next thing is Kodiak Bears in Alaska. It's my next venture. So
yeah.
Or Vikings in Norway. Actually, it's probably that's where I'm going to be next. Is Vikings in Norway.
You're going to come back and that beer's going to be 15 times longer.
Right? Yeah. I don't know if I should keep it before I go or like let it get longer just so I can go over there and like, you know, be treated as a god. I don't know what god they think I'd be. I don't know.
You should definitely find out. Definitely.
Probably be some like half goat fawn bull crap. I don't know.
Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah, Mr. Tumnus. That'd be me.
Zach, you've been touring the country visiting MLS stadiums. How's that going?
Oh, listen. If you want to get hype, if you're a sports atmosphere person, you got to go to a soccer match. I'm partial to my Nashville group. They're on a nice 8-game unbeaten streak.
Today's one today too.
Hani Mukhtar, the MVP, making people look silly out there. I love it.
Listen, that USA Canada match we went to. Oh, I've never felt more American than singing the national anthem at that stadium.
It was Memorial Day weekend too, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was July 4th, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Memorial Day.
I feel like it's close to July 4th, I think.
It's debatable.
I don't know. Still.
And then we've already caught up with Will with his OnlyFans page. We got that's going on.
Yeah, how's that going? I heard the last episode. Like, I mean,
oh jeez.
Listen, I will say, if you don't follow well on Instagram and his food, I'm telling you, that man,
or his workout videos, that man, I mean, he has to wipe down the whole gym after he's done making those videos, I think. For multiple reasons.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I mean, you're the one gyrating and throwing legs on top of things.
That is
legs on top of.
True.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that person is.
Sir, this is a public facility.
He even got all baby faced over there and shaved.
I know, man.
What you doing, man?
Tell it's getting summertime there because he has no AC, so he has to trim all the hair off his face to make sure he can survive. That's what's going on.
Cutting his neck.
I gotta get one in the next couple of days.
Yeah, you see me, man. That's why I have a hat on because if I took this off, I look like remember those old like Civil War general pictures, where they're like this. And it's like their hair's all slicked down, and like that's what my hair looks like right now. It looks terrible. So,
yeah. Glad everybody's doing well. I'm doing good to know what day it is because that's summer break for me. Woke up like it's okay today. What is today?
Go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at 4. Like, what is it?
That was me in college. I'll get up about. I've been averaging waking up around 8 or 9, but like I'll lay in bed until like 10. I'll just be like, all right, what am I going to do today? And for 2 hours, I'll just lay in bed and think about what I'm going to do. And then I'm like, I should probably actually get up.
I guess staying in bed is part of what I'm going to do.
My problem is
thinking is part
my problem is I wake up and then I immediately go get in my recliner and then I sleep for 2 more hours.
Mistake, man. Always a mistake.
Uh,
Yeah. If my feet hit the floor, I'm good. Like, but my feet don't hit the floor. It's just,
Yeah, say get my feet to the floor.
That's a completely different issue. And then my bladder will finally be like, "Hey, get your butt up." And I'm like, all right.
We either do it here or in there.
Yeah.
You choose.
Either way, you got to clean it up. So,
Choose.
all right. So that was our 4 minutes and 5 minutes of complete nonsense. I think people by now have just started to just scroll to like the 5 minute mark. And
Skippers.
Good thing YouTube has chapters because that helps a lot on that.
Oh,
it does. Do they work for us? I never really paid attention.
Every once in a while.
I have to look at that. All right, so we're in June. Everybody has moved in, as far as DCI is concerned.
yep.
And things of that
It's
nature.
exciting.
So, you're starting to see camp move in spring training, which is weird to call it spring training. I know it's technically spring. I know, but,
Yeah.
But everybody's in for spring training, getting some stuff done, working some things out. So it's really cool. It's really getting exciting. I mean, before you know it, the season will start here in a little bit. But there's been some more show releases, and we're going to talk about those. But first, there is some pretty pertinent news that we probably should discuss for a little bit.
I'm pregnant.
Congratulations!
Been knowing it. I knew it.
Anyway, man, when he was eating them peanut butter and watermelon sandwiches, I knew
I didn't want to say nothing.
something
I didn't want to say nothing.
was up. But besides that, expecting we got even more news, Chris, why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, so we actually got wind of this, I'd say a couple weeks ago, that this was a possibility of happening. It deals with Drum Corps Associates, which is DCA, merging or having a partnership with DCI. If you're not familiar with DCA, it's the all-age version of DCI, right? So DCI has age outs. You still want to be in a competitive scene, things like that, you go to DCA. Usually their championships is it October or September? When I can't remember.
Late August,
September. Yeah, it's somewhere around there. So it's a little bit after DCI takes place. But both DCA and DCI announced that they have a partnership agreement starting in 2024. So not this year, but the following year, to create a DCI all-age class for DCI altogether. So now they'll have open class, world class, and all-age class. So what that means is that DCA, after the 2023 season, is going to run the DCI all-age class. So DCA, as if you know what it is, it seems by what this is looking like, will not be there anymore. So there won't be a separate championship, anything like that. There's a couple reasons why. If you go to DCI's website, we might want to link this in the video later on. I think it might be a good thing to put in there. But they do a really good job of like what this means and things like that. One of the big things is that they're taking the same rules that DCA has now to create this all-age class. They just have to adhere to the DCI organization stuff. So making sure the organizations are run the same way DCI does it for their other classes, things like that. They have a FAQ section, which is pretty good. One of the things was, why was this proposal brought forward? I think this is a big one. I think is the overarching thing that hopefully this will help with this, but I guess this would be a good thing if we have our downtime to have a good discussion about this. But it says, while this proposal is brought forward, it says, over the past decade, DCA has observed a considerable decline in the number of participating corps and a significant decline in championship ticket sales. DCA show sponsors have also been struggling to fill shows with a sufficient number of competing units to ensure the viability of the event. During the same time frame, DCI open class courses have sometimes struggled for performance opportunities. With both circuits sharing similar missions, this move is intended to leverage efficiencies to ensure greater success for all. So, what that means to me is that we are going to, that people are struggling. I think we've known that for a while, but I think this is a way to try to promote, try to get, if you have a random show somewhere, open class course and all age course are competing at one event there to kind of tie up the sponsorships. I'm guessing is what's going to happen with that. Then it kind of goes through when will DCI All Age Championships be held, which is a pretty big one here. This is also what we got. Our source kind of told us what was going on. It says DCI All Age Championship Finals will be held in Lucas Oil Stadium on Saturday morning and afternoon in Indianapolis prior to the start of DCI World Championships Finals event. So that means all day Saturday there will be corps performing in Lucas Oil. So that also brings up a question. What happens to drumline battle and sound sport? Do they continue those? We can talk about that in here in a second, but that's just to kind of put that thing. This is another big thing. I think this one might hurt DCA, all age group. It says, how will this impact DCA core financially? It says, for most DCA cores, this change will represent an increase in costs due to the expenses related to travel and housing for World Championships in Indianapolis. So now the price is going to increase, which if you've been anything on Twitter and in the DCI world, expense has been a pretty hot topic when it comes to fielding a core and how much it costs nowadays. And some people throwing some pretty big numbers out there when it comes to that.
Yeah, because DCA championships were in New York?
Allentown,
there's somewhere in New York State somewhere. I can't remember exactly.
And their season ended on Labor Day weekend.
There we go. So end of August.
So it shortened it out.
End of September. So. No, in August. Yeah. So it's going to shorten it, or they'll just start
earlier.
Earlier is what I'm going to guess.
And that's not until next season, right?
Next season, 2024. And it's only for 2 years right now. So 2024, 2025. So I guess we're going to see how this kind of goes. But the president of DCA, or CEO of DCA, let me make sure I said that right. Yeah. The CEO, let me see. The president of DCA is going to run the all age class. So it's like DCA, but the DCI umbrella. Does that make sense? So like they're still running everything with that. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown of that. And there's a lot to digest with what is there. So what do you all think about this partnership?
It gives me the vibes of when the AFC and the NFC join together to make the NFL, or the ABA added on to join the NBA. One of the leagues. When the NFL didn't have to do it, they did, but the ABA would have folded if the NBA hadn't absorbed it. So this is giving me very, very similar vibes to that. And I read a little bit about it, and basically, like you said, what they're trying to say is, from the standpoint is, from a competitive standpoint, they still will use like captions and stuff like that. The DCA does, but from a logistical business operation standpoint, they'll be following the DCI stuff, which makes a lot of sense. And And some people are probably like, well, DCI they had an all age, all age division, and they did, but most of those groups, I mean, they were weekend warriors. They're probably your more well off DCA groups that just came to do DCI just to um, get some exposure and get another show in.
I will add to what you're saying is that this new proposal, they'll still only perform on the weekends. So
Okay.
So that goes true with what you're saying.
So there could be some benefits to this, because I'm not sure how it works. So if somebody knows for sure, say something in the comments below. But I do believe the cores do get some portion of the gate or something for performing at these shows. I'm not saying it's an exorbitant amount, but I think they do get something. So now when you have the DCA groups, then you would assume they would still all come over, especially if they only have to tour on a weekend. Because if I remember correctly, if I think correctly, most of the DCA groups are in the northeast, East Coast, Midwest. So I don't see them traveling any further than they already have been traveling. And there's way more DCI shows in the Midwest in South to kind of open that up some too. So I think that will help on that front, because now I think the Corvettes compete in DCA. Now the Corvettes don't have to go all the way to New York to compete or to have a show. They can, or whatever, compete for. They can
at least get a number.
Yeah, they get a lot of shows in the South, and that might open up the ability to have more shows in the Northeast for DCA groups, and it might entice, like, you got cadets, you got Jersey Surf, it might entice them to stay up there a little bit longer, to get some shows up there, which means you're going to have bigger shows. Honestly, you're going to end up having some bigger shows with some of those groups, because, like, the Caballeros and the Buck,
Reading,
the Bucking Reddings and Bushwhackers and all of those guys. People are going to want to see those groups, because I don't know if you watched the DCA World Championship. Them cats can play. Like, the top groups that take it seriously. And I'm going to be interested to see. I know all A's going to have their own thing, but I'm going to be interested to see if they keep it open and allow anybody to compete in semis, because some people's feelings may get hurt.
I would say, if I was going to guess, I would say no. I think this is going to be a age protected class. I think. I don't know. That's interesting though. That'd be kind of interesting to see if they pull that off. With that, I don't know. That's interesting with that. But I will say what's
be
good.
Cool.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, it'd be cool. Like, they can have the open class winner and the all age class winner perform at finals as well.
I can see that happening.
I can see that already happening.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Somebody start the show and somebody end it.
Yeah.
I mean, or even make one of them the intermission core. Even though intermission may get upset with that.
Their perfect streak will end.
Yeah, but I think it's a good business decision. I mean, especially if one is failing, financially failing. If you can help, if DCI can help, and DCI has the means to do so, I think, and it's going to help DCI too, because you're going to get, like I said, those weekend shows. Now you're going to be adding 2, 3, 4, 5 cores to all of those weekend shows too.
Well, also,
that's
the interesting thing for me is that, once like San Antonio hits, a lot of your weekend shows are just going to be world class shows. So like the open class course have to find somewhere to go. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's where they're talking about, it's talking about open class cores were struggling to find performance opportunities. Well, now we have 2 classes now that we can just put together at a show, and now you have a full show. You streamline your sponsors for those shows, and you streamline your gate money for those shows and your audience participation in those shows. I think that's a good thing in that. But also, I think, when you look at that part where it talks about the decline in participating cores, decline in ticket sales, the sponsorship, but then they also talk about the open class. And they might not be saying a whole lot, but I think that paints a scary picture, as in, like, how do we keep this thing going in the future?
I don't see to me, I don't think open class is struggling. I feel like
because I read it when you was reading it, I read it too, and I was sitting here thinking, same way with Cedric, I was sitting here thinking to myself, it's like, if you look at the past few years, open class has gotten better. Obviously, your lower groups is going to struggle a little bit, but that's in every single sport that we have in the marching arts. But other than that aspect of it, I was looking at it the same way. I was like, I was like, if you're looking at gold, if you're looking at all these top groups that are putting their foot in this door, they're a lot bigger than they have been, and they're making a lot more noise than they have been.
Yeah, I've paid more attention to open class the past few years than I have
in almost ever. In almost ever.
Like, I actually pay attention, and not just because of the podcast. Like, I mean, years before this, like, it's interesting. I'm not going to say it's more interesting than World, but like,
well, it was predictable.
Yeah, I do that.
Mm-hmm. Like you knew it was either going to be BDB or Vanguard Cadets,
and then they got shook.
Now we've had Gold sliding in. Who was it before them? Spartans,
Oregon Crusaders. Spartans.
Music City was when they were open class. They were up there, kind of. So, I mean, there's a lot more parity coming with open class, just like with world class. Honestly, my thing is putting the all age corps on the same schedule as the world and open class. You know, it's gonna make some of these shows bigger caliber, like as far as in more participation, which if I'm an all age corps, that means I'm getting more exposure because people who may have never even heard of me before, who are actually at that show to see Crown or Cadets or whoever, they're going to get to see me. They're going to walk by my Suvi booth. May potentially want a shirt.
Dude.
Yeah. And if they get part of the ticket sales, you know, if they're getting some of that ticket income from that too, that's helping them in turn. And then, like I was thinking too, that also for World Championships weekend, that brings even more people to Lucas Oil that night.
Yeah.
So we're going to see an attendance increase at finals for those all age groups. And, you know, because I mean, I feel like the last few years, every year we go, they announce that the attendance has been larger than the year before. And it does keep growing. So I definitely think there's a lot of positives that comes with it. One of the things that I was thinking about was, okay, with this happening, is there going to be just like one all age corps that all these age outs are going to go to, and basically they're going to be like a world class version of, you know, like I'm thinking like if all these age outs are like, all right, let's run it back and we'll all go to Heatwave or some random group, and then all these age outs who just finished the year before are young, still involved in the activity, they go down there and they're like, that becomes like the next step if you don't want to hang it up yet. Does that make sense?
It definitely opens the door for some of your alumni groups. So, I mean,
that's true.
I mean, look how serious Blue Coats took it. You mean to tell me those guys wouldn't come back to Blue Coats alumni for one more year and try to wreck shop?
Yeah, see, I think that's go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say those top tier DCA cores are legit. They are. Like I've said in them, I've watched some DCA championships, and I'm just like, they could probably compete, maybe semifinals for sure, if not better. They just don't have the flair, the production that a world class group has. But they play, and I think being a part of the DCI culture that might refine a little bit, and you're gonna get some even better quality stuff from those groups.
So, 2 questions for you guys. First one, off of what you were just talking about. Do you think we'll see any world-class organizations that we have now try to field an all-age core? Try to create a new core.
And
Make
initially, no.
No,
Initially, no.
no. The core
Maybe 5 years down the road, if this sticks, because I believe this is only for 2 years.
I don't mean like immediately, but do you think, future wise, do you see that happening?
it's gonna take a minute. Like I'd probably go past 5 years because you got to think about it now. Look at the cores that are struggling right now to hold out 1 or 2 groups. SCV folded both groups, so each BD's groups that have individual people running each group. It's not just one big pot. It's like BDB, C, and World Class all have different people running each group. It's the same thing in indoor. Pulse World doesn't run Pulse Open World or Power Percussion. They have 2 separate entities, but it's under the same name. Kind of like what they're doing with this. It's all under the same umbrella. But when you're talking about adding more to a ship that's struggling already, but in the future, it's going to be a minute. I wouldn't say no, but I will say it's going to be a minute if groups do jump onto that ship. Because I'm like, man, fix your house first.
Yeah,
because I ain't gonna lie. Like I ran into the situation with that with my alumni from Madison. They sat up there and talked about that they were going to have an indoor group. I was like, how about we fix the Martian group first? I've talked to many of the alumni about that. I was like, that don't make sense to me. Why would y'all try to fill an indoor group when the corps is struggling?
I would see our group folding and becoming an all-age core before I would see them adding an all-age core. Because it's a lot cheaper to run an all-age core.
I get that.
The last resort, for real.
Well, but they also said there's going to be increase in costs. So, I mean, is something
most of that is the championship week because
of
lodgings and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But you get a year. You get a year to get yourself ready for that. Like, I mean, you can, and those cores have history, and they have strong alumni bases, even though they're, kind of like alumni groups, but they have strong alumni bases. They will have the support to do that, and they will be smart about it. It's going to depend on when things are, because I know typically they run open class and international stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, prelims Thursday, semis Friday, finals Saturday. So the question is, when are they doing prelims?
From what it says in the
when and where are they doing prelims?
So this is where I think it's going to happen. I think they're just going to have a semifinals finals because it says DCI All Age Championship finals will be held morning and afternoon. So maybe that's what they're going to do. It'll just be like a prelims finals.
That's going to hurt.
That's what it says in the thing. So I don't like. I'm just trying to make an inference here. I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but I mean,
I wonder if they're going to be like some of those upper DCA groups, like Bushwhackers, Reading Buccaneers, like those groups that we see every now and then on a Saturday show with like open and world class groups. I wonder if you'll see them come out a little bit more this year to kind of prepare themselves for next season when they're going to be in the same shows as those groups every time. Like those ones that we said are, more serious or more competitive. They'll probably, I bet we'll see a lot of them come out more as often as they can to try and get that feel in.
Well, if this is right, sorry, I'm just looking up stuff. If there were only 12 last year that went to championships. So that theoretically, they could knock prelims and finals out in one day.
Yeah, they could do 12 and 6.
2, 12, and 6. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So here's the other question I got for you guys. It kind of goes along with those lines. So I kind of mentioned this when I was going through it. But if they're doing Saturday morning finals, Saturday morning afternoon is all age group, what do you think is going to happen with Sound Sport and Drumline Battle? Do you think they'll still have those happening at the same time? Or do they move that to like a Friday or like Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning thing? Like, what do you think they're going to do with that?
I think it'll stay the same. I mean, they've done Sound Sport and Drumline Battle at the same time.
That's true.
It probably ain't going to have no choice.
The year they had it inside and outside. They had Drumline Battle in the convention center once, too.
That's a lot of people there, man.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, what's the?
Because I mean, there's a lot of questions. I mean, since it's under the DCI umbrella, are you getting a separate ticket for DCI finals and DCA finals?
Yep.
Are they going to try to bundle it to where you can just get a ticket and sit in your seat all effing day? Are they going to
hell no?
Everybody go get your pretzels now.
I like our hotel time. I always enjoy our hotel time and outside time. So
I mean, there's some of the logistical things, which I know they're working.
I doubt it'd be under the same ticket because that'd be ruthless if you think about it. Because it's
the thing, you could charge $50 more and get a whole day's worth of jump core.
Or you tag, you do semi
hella early though.
What if you do like semifinals? A lot of those
people gonna want it the whole day. Them seats gonna be gone so quick it ain't even gonna matter.
Listen, they go now. I mean, I have to get those tickets the day of, the minute they go on sale.
Well, I was gonna say, I see it more being you buy a semifinals ticket, you can tack on an extra $35 or whatever it's going to be to go to the All A championships the next day. I can see them do something like that. I think they're going to keep the finals ticket sacred. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're going to keep that the way it is, unless you buy like, they do like the big three, Super 3 or whatever they call it. But I can see them tagging on semifinals and then All A championships. But I think you get a lot of people that'd be pretty pissed off if you could get in quicker with the DCI All Age finals and get your seat. You know what I mean?
That'll be the thing too. Is like people will have tickets for DCA finals or All Age finals, and they'll think they can just sit and hang out in them when
they're gonna have to clear the
DCI
stadium.
finals.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
And there's gonna be a lot of people saying
that's what I'm saying. No, they're gonna have to clear the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I said. Would they just take the easy route and just be like, you know what, you're getting a ticket for the whole day?
The funny thing
they just
is,
charge like $85 for the whole day or whatever.
Like it'll be a package probably for both.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do a huge bundle package where you can do everything, literally get everything, and then whoever just wants finals is just gonna have to hope and pray.
Oh, dude!
Because all those DCA folks who used to go to DCA finals when y'all say September,
that's
they come in now. They come in here.
They come in.
You're telling me I get to see DCA and the regular DCI Worlds, and if you give a bundle ticket, they not moving from that seat. I'm telling you, them tickets are gonna go quick. Like DCI is gonna have to put it out there so early, it's gonna be unreal.
I mean, they already put it out in December.
Said it was start bombing in August.
And they be half gone now. Dude, like they might have you
listen,
can't even.
I sit on my planning and wait for the time to go to get on.
Because that's my favorite thing leading up to like when those tickets. We're all like, when's that date again? What time is that? Here's the article about what time they send this. Hey, when's the date again? Let's make sure we. all the time.
Them
And
service
yeah, we're
calls,
going to have to start getting a hotel room right after I get the tickets. 'Cause
Right, just go ahead,
'cause
just
that's
go
gonna
ahead
be
and buy.
filled
Yep.
up.
Yeah, same day.
Might as well drive 30 miles out just to get a hotel.
I mean,
I ain't doing that
I
again.
just got our hotel, and I had to fudge some numbers. It might be a little tight, hotel, but just to get a hotel downtown.
Crazy. Zach Ringer mattress.
It was a
But
cool
still,
idea.
I'm still interested. Like, what do you think they would do all age finals and sound sport and drumline battle at the same time?
They have to.
They have to, because here's
They
the
have to.
thing: if they want to keep it, they have to, because they're going to have. I mean,
There
the
might
stadium is full
be.
all day Friday and
Or do you
Thursday.
think they try to tell some of these sound sport groups, like, hey, we got this all age division now.
Here's the.
You know what I mean?
Okay, what time does finals usually start?
6, 7.
6?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you bring these all age groups on, like first one's on, like we're talking BOA granite prelims, 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, run them 12 groups through, then you put like a 2 hour lunch break for judges, and then at like 1 o'clock you have finals. Then that gives another chunk before finals start. So maybe in that 2 hour lunch between semis and finals for all age, that's when they're going to have the bulk of the drumline battle stuff going on,
It ain't gonna.
like the later
It ain't gonna
rounds.
work. You're talking about a full day. Think about people who get tired now.
Yeah.
You got
So they
people
can
who
go back to
sleep.
the hotel.
You got people who sleep during finals now
Yeah,
in the stadium.
don't be boring.
This man said in the stadium.
Don't be boring.
It's
Y'all
a
know who
scary
I'm talking
thought.
about. Don't be
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a long day.
Well,
You
I
done
mean,
been through it.
getting
You've been
signed up
through it.
for
You've been through it in indoor.
Yeah.
I done seen a many of y'all sleeping back in the back. So you
I did
imagine
one time
getting
because I
up
took
at
advantage
8
of
something
y'all.
in the morning.
I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. People getting tired, that's not DCI's problem. That's the people's problem.
Yeah, but at the same time, nobody's going to go watch stuff when they are. They're going to go back to the hotel. So when sound sport and all that stuff comes on, ain't nobody going to be down there. So then that's going to start suffering. So
I
that's
was gonna be
why.
honest with you. They could, as it stands right now. I have no desire to watch the DCA championships because I have a feeling it's going to cost extra. As of right now, that could change. Now what I would do, say they do bundle those tickets. Okay, get up, watch prelims because they take them all. Like last year, I just looked. They take them all for finals.
Mm-hmm.
There were 12 groups. They took all 12, and they competed in their division. Because they have a open world there. So go there, watch prelims, then do my lunch, whatever, and then if they keep Sound Sport in the afternoon, now you got options. Okay, do you want to watch Sound Sport, or do you want to go inside and watch DCA finals?
Mm-hmm.
Or Drumline Battle? They've worked too hard to promote Drumline Battle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
To get rid of it. Sound Sport may be in trouble, but I don't see Drumline Battle going away. And for
See,
that,
I can see them
Sound Sport will go
saying
away.
to some of these sound sport groups to see if they would think about trying to go to the all age class. I don't think they would, but I don't know.
But the whole thing with Sound Sport is to be able to do more with less. Like
Exactly.
you have a
Yeah,
boundary.
yeah.
You can't and to put them in that all age, that takes away all of the shiny. Here, you can do this thing, and you don't have to worry about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having a standstill class. You know, that'd just be like them telling the concert class in WGI, hey, why don't you come on and just be in an A class? We're just going to get rid of concert and you can be in A class. But no, because now we're not getting a fair shot because they're playing by these rules while we're still trying to play by these.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's interesting to see how they're going to do finals week. I don't think the regular season is gonna be an issue at all. Like I think it's going to bolster those weeks. You're going to see what you're going to start to see is opposite of, and which is kind of weird because this is what Fantasy Drum Corps did when I was doing it for a long time. You had your world class focus shows, but then you had your open class shows, and where you only competed against the open class groups, and they convened together and had their own little regional. So I think you're going to probably see that, except it'll be like the open class and A class groups. So instead of just like 7 or 8 open class groups, you're going to have like 15, hopefully 15 or like 20 groups. And some of those Sound Sport groups, because Sound Sport was built to be a stepping stone into getting into open and world class. So I'm not going to say that's not a possibility. Like some groups that have had Sound Sports, they may look at this as an opportunity to step it up and go ahead and have a full-blown course. So, yeah. But it's going to be real interesting. I can't wait to hear the rest of the details about how all of this is.
They're going to have to come out with it sooner rather than later, because those questions that we're asking about ticket sales and stuff like that, I'm sure a lot of other people can ask some questions about it too.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure they got that locked. I'm sure there's no way DCI can do something like this with DCA and they don't have maybe a sketch plan. They're not going to tell you. You can want all day until they get it all straight and figured it out.
They're going to be like blue coats and not tell nobody until it's already over.
Wait till the last year.
By the way, prelims are going to start at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Right.
Hope you can all make it.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, because they start advertising the big tickets like at championships, like for next year. Like, make sure you go to the DCI table to reserve your seats for the 2024. You know, like, so like you're going to get. I just want to know. That's all I do. I just want to know. I love gossip.
We ain't going. We're going to be either A, in the hotel watching cartoons, or B, eating at
eat at some restaurant. Not Ram anymore, no.
Well,
Goodwood.
Goodwood.
That's where we ate at last year. Because Ram's closed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It took over.
But Goodwood's in what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Do we want to talk about shows?
What is it, like 3?
We can do a quick rundown. We got this.
Let's just stick to world class. How about that? That should help a little bit.
It's only like
there's 1, 2, no, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, 4.
1.
Oh, we can do it. We got it. We just need to shut our mouths and just say yes, no, good, bad. You know,
bop or flop.
Oh, Jesus.
I ain't going back to that crap. Get that bop and flop out of my face. You flop it somewhere else.
Whoa.
Pause.
I mean, if we're just doing open class, if we're just doing world class, we can talk a little bit.
Let's do it.
There's only been a couple of open class.
Yeah.
All right. Let me scroll on.
Blue Stars is the first one. You want me to know?
You want me to do it?
Why are you still scrolling? Like, what's going
on? I'm blind and I have my own Zoom.
Oh, okay. What page are you on?
Yeah. Like,
he's on Zoom 400.
I am. Or maybe it's not 400. It's a lot. All right. Zach, you want to do it?
I can.
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
I
All
can't wait
right.
to
So
hear you see
first
this
we
first
have.
one.
All right, you
Oh,
suck.
are
All
you
right,
ready? So the first we have Blue Stars. They announced their 2023 production, and it's called In Absentia.
Getting drunk.
Absentia.
We're going on our
So-
French
Not
roller
absent.
coaster, baby.
There is no information provided as far as what they have on this running list via Flow Marching, but they do have rep from Everfish, Michael Torka, Orville Peck, Symbion Project featuring Melissa R. Kaplan and Jim Wunderlich. So it's a very psychedelic poster they've got going on here.
I feel like if you
which
just
will be
replace
very
stars with
interesting.
nights, you get this show.
I mean,
Our coats.
yeah.
Yeah.
This. We talked about them stepping out.
Yep.
This definitely looks different.
I hope so.
Well, they're like, you know what? We
Yeah,
already had the
it's-
Fleur de Lis on our stuff last year, so let's go ahead and keep those, and we'll keep the French vibe, and we got this. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, when you think about absinthe, like it's a very psychedelic, trippy. I mean, it kind of gives me Finding Nirvana vibes too, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go the peaceful route that Vanguard went with it. I think there's definitely going to be some edge to this, which I think Blue Stars have a very. Last year they had a very there was like a delicate edge to that. Like it was there, but it wasn't like smacking you in the face edge sound. So I think this will. I'm hoping that this will be a little bit of a step out of their usual vibe, and it will be a good move for them to kind of break out of this little box that they've been in recently, which wasn't a bad box at all. I think that they're trying to level themselves up some.
Low
They're trying to
key,
strike while the iron's hot.
they kind of don't do the same thing year to year either. I know we've had discussions about groups that kind of do stuff that's in their real house, and I think Blue Stars is one that just kind of does what they want to do too. They're like, and this is going to come across as an insult, and I don't mean it this way, but
Nope,
I
let's get
can't.
canceled.
But they're like the best BOA group ever.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Yeah, no,
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they did,
Like a high school can look at that and be like, we can do that. That we can do. And not from a technical standpoint, but like they be like, we can do that type of show. Like
content.
they make what they do seem attainable from a production standpoint and all that stuff. So this is kind of different. This kind of leads itself towards something way out there. Because when I first saw the poster, I just saw Absinthe, and I was like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, there's letters before and after it. But
They do have the cup above
I
it.
said, they knew what they were
dude,
doing.
I'm telling you,
They're going to hand out little shots
This
of
one-
absinthe to all the crowd. Like, all right, guys, here we go.
Stop.
Lord, how mercy. See, they're taking basically what Crown did last year and actually
Yep.
getting
Like,
Crown
yep.
involved
Literal.
with it.
Y'all keep your clothes on now.
Just starts.
Here we go.
Please look underneath your seats.
Boy,
Wait a minute.
I
How
swear,
the hell did y'all even
swear
do
for
that?
it.
When you go by their Suvi booth, they hand you little vials of. Now you save this
It's
until
for
the
free.
salute, okay? If everybody takes it right when they say you may take the field, it'll all hit at the same time.
Oh my God.
Jeez. All
Now,
right.
dude, the question is, do the judges get some of that?
Yes, they get double.
They need it.
Sir, you can't give them a 1,000. No, I can. Listen to me. I
I
can't.
did once. What is
This
the
is box
Q?
35.
What's a cue?
This is a bunch of tilde asterisk parentheses. What is
Sir, you wrote the Declaration of Independence in your comments section.
Is this your Wi-Fi password? What is
What
this?
is going on?
Oh, jeez. It's
Oh
like
man.
was it the gif of Zach Galifianakis where he's seeing like all the
Oh yes.
math symbols in front of him floating around. He's like,
Oh man.
all right, so that was Blue Stars. Next, the big announcement from Carolina Crown.
Zelda.
Um,
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
So their show is titled "The Round Table: Echoes of Camelot." Lot.
Mm-mm.
So their repertoire includes everything.
All right.
The Night Window by. I mean, it's a full
Literally.
list. I'm not going to read the full list.
I didn't
There's
see
some.
that. Nope.
There's
Gotta read it
some
all.
Bartok in there. There's some
Read it all.
Mozart. There's some Wagner.
You're not
you
doing
know.
the job right.
There's a lot of different.
This is also pinned on our Twitter. This is pinned on our Twitter. If you want to click on there and see the full list repertoire.
I'll read the program info. How about that?
Hmm.
A legend told for centuries. The boy who would be king. Compelled to embrace his destiny, King Arthur assembled a court of brave, fierce, and honorable followers who pledged their lives in loyalty to him. Their shared vision to create a kingdom where justice, harmony, and the noble principles of chivalry prevail. And Camelot, the court and stronghold of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, was the epicenter of their dreams and mythic quests. Thank you, Olmec.
I was gonna say, what
got
book
that
did that come from?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That was, yeah! That was it right there.
That sounded like it came straight up out of a book.
It probably did. But,
Copy and paste.
yeah. Anybody have thoughts before I get started?
I don't.
I'm kinda
This
hyped
is
for it.
giving me Beast vibes, man. I'm sorry, I can't. I hope it's done well, but man,
Damn, you went there.
I did. It just feels like that a little bit, because we talk about how we expected the show to be this, but then it wasn't in Beast.
See, I'm getting the opposite. I haven't
I am
been
too.
this excited since Inferno or Relentless. I think I'm
I'm
getting
kinda
Inferno
hype about
vibes
it.
out of this.
I'm kind of hype about it. There's tiny clips to here and there. There's pictures and stuff like that, the rehearsal stuff, and I'm like, okay, they're actually finna do this. There's like a whole baritone probably section, and they're in the shape of a crown during their little sectional thing. Where I'm like, okay,
Oh, and there's not 30 million crowns on the field during this show.
they need to start in
this-
a crown and then rotate the crown and then separate it and then bring it back together and then rotate it again.
Gets me. Like I said, I haven't been this excited about a crown show since probably Inferno and Relentless. I was hyped for Beast, and then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, never mind. But this one, I think it's going to be a good one. I think they're kind of back to some storytelling, which has been good for them.
Which Inferno, they did a fantastic job with that. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think they'll do a good job. I just, with something like this, someone's so familiar with, I don't know, I hope it's done. I love Crown, so I hope it's done well.
It's an interesting mix of classical music and then like some avant-garde stuff.
I mean, you got Bjork. They have two
you
songs
got
about Bjork.
And then you got Mozart.
Yeah.
And
then Wagner.
And then you got Wagner, and then more Bjork, and then Purcell. Like there's a lot of operatic music being used. I think the thing with Beast, I think not we as in us, as in like just people in general, overhyped it because it was like, that was when Crown was like Omega brass line of the universe. And so we see the term Beast, and like, oh my God, they're going to be sextuplet tonguing. Like, yeah, this is going to be just epic. And then we didn't get that. And then we was like,
It's almost like they have to do it with this.
I agree with you on that, Will.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
this show. I want it to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to hit really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really, it gives me Boston.
Yeah.
It really gives me Boston.
Like,
it gives me, but think about it. The shows when we first started liking Boston, Goliath and SOS, and then was there
Wicked
one
Games.
more? Wicked Games. Very, very simplistic concepts. They just marched
That
and
everybody
played their
knew.
butts off. That everybody knew, and they just marched and played their butts off. So now you're getting a very easy concept that everybody knows with arguably a better horn line than most of DCI, if not all of DCI. You got to deliver. You got to deliver. Like, you don't. I think last year they tried to get a little bit too esoteric and over the top, and I don't think it just fell flat. They ran out of juice.
I can see that.
What?
They just ran out of juice early. Like, they came out hot because the newness of the show and the idea.
What are you talking about last year?
Yeah, last year. But it never grew. Like, it hit a point and it just never got any better. And they almost locked themselves in that with that show last year, or they couldn't do anything else.
This show finna, no joke. This show is finna sit all the way in the staff's hands.
Yeah, because the kids are gonna play it.
The kids are gonna play the mess out of it. So this show is, if it flops, it's gonna be the staff's fault. Because there's no way with the talent pool that they keep bringing in and they keep getting out of places, and the people I see go in and out of there all the time. There's no shot. This is going to come down to the design team, the staff, and everybody else. Like, can y'all deliver? Is going to be the question, because them kids going to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to think out of it. They're gonna have to pull something.
They really are.
From an emotional standpoint, they're gonna have to pull something out of the box here.
Yeah,
because
they're gonna have to pull something out of the stone.
Is that me, or is that a completely different story? Or am I just
Sword in the Stone?
It's King Arthur.
Excalibur. Is that King Arthur? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Merlin.
They're gonna have to, because here you go. You got Blue Coat doing a show that, unless he's done research on art, which I asked my art teacher about that show, about the stuff, and she gave me a little background information.
Blue Devils.
Interesting.
Blue Devils.
Blue Devils. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But Blue Devils are going to come out and they're going to be dirt clean. Mm-hmm. You out emotion Blue Devils. You can't out clean them. You have to make the audience and the judges feel something.
Yeah.
So think about every show that's beat them. That's what it did.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna take them transporting the whole audience to fucking Camelot, and by the end of it, for somehow we're gonna look down and see armor on our chest. Like, where did this come from?
That's the absinthe.
Everybody's wearing chainmail.
That's the absinthe from Blue Stars.
Everybody's wearing chainmail.
Yeah, I mean, but it's gonna take that type of performance. It really is, to make that work. It's gonna be. It could be really close. It could be like another Inferno year.
Don't say it. Don't even speak that into existence.
I'm so mad they didn't win, dude.
Because if it's going to happen to anybody, it will happen to them, because it always happens to them.
I'm just saying.
God.
But here's the thing.
We apologize.
But the year they won with EMC Square, that show took you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They played their tails off, and they just laid one down, and that's what it's going to take. Phantom with
Spartacus,
same thing. Like, you have to make the audience feel something, and well, not so much the audience. You got to make the judges feel it. The judges have to be like, oh damn, you know. So I want it to work for him. I want it to work. And I think it could be. They may have to. I think they'll find that gear. They will.
Yeah. All right. Next, have we done Colts yet?
Nope.
I think they were the new one too. All right. So Colts, their show is called Where the Heart Is. They got music from Motley Crue, Pat Metheny, Cinematic Orchestra, Randy Newman, Mason Williams, and Pink Floyd.
What a repertoire! Also,
Pat Metheny, I'm noticing.
This year's program embodies the heartfelt concept that regardless of one's location or companions, the deepest affection and emotional pull always stem from family and home. It signifies that home is not merely a physical structure, but a place where relationships, warmth, and memories converge. A sanctuary where one finds a sense of belonging and fulfillment alongside the people they hold dear. So, it seems like they're going a very emotional route.
Is this our first feel-good one that we or like feels like a feel good one? I think
so.
Yeah, I think that's the first one.
And it could work
or
out.
Maybe cavies could be one too. Maybe
a palate cleanser.
We don't know what cavies are doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like it could be. I don't know.
All right. Well, Jersey surf. Jersey surf is always this way.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Yeah.
I really.
This poster gives me anime vibes.
I don't know
yes.
where it's going to finish. I really don't, because these shows are hard to pull off.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I think they'll be fighting for that 12 spot.
But I'll
yeah, they could be at the bottom.
Okay,
I think it's going to be one that people will enjoy watching.
Yes.
When Blue Stars wasn't theirs called Where the Heart Is? When they did the construction of the home?
Probably.
I can't remember.
I need Ethan. Ethan was in that show. Where's he at? I think it was called that. So it's going to be completely. It's got to be. I mean, it'll have to be completely different from that one. But I think it will be, just based on what we've seen in out of the poster and the rep for sure.
But Motley Crue with Randy Newman and Pat Metheny, like,
listen,
man. I'm interested, dude.
Yeah, I thought I saw somewhere what that show, what songs they were doing.
Is Motley Crue? Did they see that one that said "You don't know what it's got till it's gone"? Is that Motley Crue?
No.
Who's that?
No, if it's Motley Crue, they're going to do "Home Sweet Home."
More than likely.
Yeah, you're right.
It'll be "Home Sweet Home" from Motley Crue.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of home, because I think what it was is I saw Pat Metheny and I was like, they're probably doing "Letter from Home" from him.
So then what's the Pink Floyd song? Or Randy Newman?
Maybe "Wish You Were Here" might be one. It better not be "Brick in the Wall," because
we don't need no.
Jeez, no, I think it'll probably be "Wish You." I don't know. That'd be interesting.
It was. Did they really? Yeah, it was the same title, "Where the Heart Is." I just looked it up.
There we go. Hopefully they won't be building a house in the field this time.
No. What'd you say, Will?
I was saying a group that's caught my interest now that I was kind of unsure of now is Phantom. There's a video out of because they don't have their repertoire up yet, but somebody put a video out of their repertoire. And I seen that video. After watching that video, I was like, I might change my mind about Phantom now.
Oh, was that dude talking about it?
Yeah, did somebody? I was
Yeah,
going to ask
I
if
saw
anybody
that.
saw it.
I saw
I was
that.
like, it's actually the music is actually interesting, and with Phantom kind of sound, this could be good for them.
Good.
Still not
It's
quite sure
it.
about the visual aspect of it, but at least musically, I could be invested musically.
Yeah, which is weird because you would have thought Flow Marcher would have had that because they said
Exactly.
what they're doing
Yeah,
in that video.
and he gave every single one. So I was like, okay. So that was a shot.
All right. Next is, I believe, Pacific Crest.
Yep.
Their show titled Goddess with music by Vienna Tang, Claude Debussy, Joseph Helmsberger Jr., Yasuhide Ito, and Sergei Prokofiev. No info on this, but I mean, I feel like it should be self-explanatory.
They're gonna merge with Boston.
Right.
Everybody in the water.
Mm-hmm. So, any thoughts on that one?
Well, you can't really go off too much of what the poster says or anything like that. So,
Yep.
I mean,
And
does it not give
that's
off like some kind of like mermaid or?
well, this is Goddess, so
I mean, that is water, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
water.
Not clouds. What else could be in the water that you think of as goddess?
Ursula.
I was
poor unfortunate souls.
Because I was well, my first thought was like, were there any female goddess in mythology?
Yeah, I mean, like
Dealing with
Poseidon's
water?
wife. I don't remember. I mean, it could be her, but I mean, you also don't know where it's coming from. Is it Greek? Is it Roman? Is it Egyptian? Is it
India,
is it Celtic?
China.
Is it Norse?
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on. I mean,
And
based
for,
on the poster, it looks like it'll be your typical Greek or Roman, but you never know.
says his wife's name was Amphitrite from Greek mythology, the goddess of the sea, wife of the god Poseidon, and one of the 50 or 100 daughters of Neros.
Yep. So we will.
You know, have Aquaman jump out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh! Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
He was Poseidon's only
You know,
wife.
have Barnacle Boy attacking Boston's
The invisible
whale.
boatmobile will be on the field. But yeah, that's the last of the world class show announcements that are new. There's 5 or 6 open class that we haven't hit on yet, but we'll have to save those.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of. I mean, everything's coming together. It's piecing itself together. Countdown is. Let's see. When this drops, it will be.
It's 3 weeks, right?
The 7th, so 3 weeks away to the day from the Midwest premiere.
Yep.
So if you don't have your Flow Marching subscription yet, go ahead and hop on there and get that.
Did y'all say that the movies was canceled? They stopped doing it?
I mean, I'm sure because it seems like everybody's doing their own kind of show announcement videos and things.
I went to the movies yesterday, and Fathom Events came on a commercial like 4 or 5 times and then never had DCI. So
you look on the Fathom Events site and there's not one.
Yeah, so they might not be
coming
doing
up
it anymore.
for that.
Yeah, I haven't even seen anything because they usually call it Big Loud and Live or something.
Well,
yeah. Get your Flow
that's,
Marching subscriptions. Be checking out some spring training pictures, and if you're like me, I'm on prop watch right now. I'm like zooming in the backgrounds, trying to see if I can.
Boston showed their props. Well, one
did
of
they?
them. Yeah,
I'll have to go look now.
Mm-hmm.
Their big monstrosity thing they're going to have on the field.
It was a Blue Knights photo.
They need to bring them screens back.
Man, they do.
Right.
Really do. This will be the show they need to do it. Just have a whale go across the whole screen.
Stop.
And it jump out you 3D. They got glasses they can hand it out.
Shut up. So we'll get 3D goggles for Boston Show. We'll get absinthe for
Yes.
Blue Stars. We
Yes.
will,
Chainmail for Crown.
I mean, chainmail. Listen, you're getting all kinds of souvenirs this year.
Blue Star show going to backfire because they want to get everybody drunk, and then everybody else's show going to look better.
Oh man! All right, let's wrap this up.
Any
Ah!
last
Okay, next time. Wrap it up.
No, you got it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
You having flashbacks? He was ready.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Well, let us know in the comments below who you looking forward to seeing. What do you think about this whole DCI, DCA, DCO, DCEIO stuff that's happening?
DCA
HIJ.
I need to go to bed.
Oh man!
Anyway, let us know in the comments below what do you think about all that, because that's some pretty interesting stuff, and it's going to affect drum corps. Like, it really is, and hopefully for the best, because we want to see drum corps survive and do what it needs to do, but it needs everybody's help. You know, it really does. And go out and watch a show, go out and support, go out and march. Man, if they can just find a way to get these, I think kids would do it if they can just get these fees down.
They got to somehow. Somehow.
Just, I don't know.
That's a topic that we need to talk about sometime, because
we got to figure something out. But yeah, let us know in the comments below about what you thought about this episode. We'll make sure we get those open class groups that came out soon. We promise. Those show. I'm just going to go ahead and preview. We're not going to talk about it, but the battalions, that got my attention,
dude.
That got my attention. I don't know what they're
social
going to
media
do.
team needs a raise,
Right?
Yeah.
But that was dope. If you hadn't seen it, go on Instagram, find their Instagram, and look up their show reveal. That it was dope. It was really cool. So I love that the open class groups are going after it as far as that type of stuff is concerned, just as much as the world class groups are. So I can't wait to talk about that. Hopefully we'll have some more information about the show by the time we decide to do that episode. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also listen to us on Anchor.fm and Spotify. You can also watch us on Spotify now.
You can.
It's really cool. So make sure you hit the like, share, comment, subscribe, rate, review, donate. Whatever buttons you can hit them all. Touch them all. Hit them all. And leave all the comments and things of that nature. But yeah, it's almost 3 weeks, man. It'll be there.
Almost there.
It's coming. So if there's nothing else for William, Zach, and Chris, my name is Cedric. This has been episode number 40 of On the Back Cash.
40.
Make sure you enjoy your summer. Take care of yourself. And we are dut
Dut.
out.
Out.
Go Nuggets.